it's Eileen here at Avenidas. I'm in the hallway. You might recall seeing this area. I thought I would take a couple minutes just to read some short stories today. And this is one from Chicken Soup for the Woman's Soul. Most of these short stories are written by women, but they're for everyone. They're not just for women. So the first one I found, the title is There She Is, Miss America. One of the quotes is, "Dreams are renewable. No matter what our age or condition, there are still untapped possibilities within us and new beauty waiting to be born." Sounds good. That was by Dale Turner. So this story, There She Is, Miss America, is by, let me find it, a person named Daphne Gray. Daphne Gray. Okay, here we go. September 17th, 1994. My lack of nervousness had begun to make me nervous. The relaxed sense of peace I felt seemed such a contrast to the tension and excitement I'd experienced during all of the other pageants in which my daughter, Heather, had competed. Yet this was Atlantic City and the final night of the Miss America pageant. Tonight would bring either the remarkable culmination or the sudden and disappointing end to my daughter's incredible dream. Yet the most pervasive sensation I'd had all evening was this concerting yet clearly feeling of inner calm. I hadn't worried at all about the evening gown competition. Heather had been elegant. She looked great and walked beautifully during the swimsuit segment as well. Then she'd justified my lack of jitters during the talent portion of the competition by captivating the entire audience with her electrifying performance, a classic ballet interpretation of Sandy Patty's inspirational song, Via Dolorosa. When Miss America's television hosts Regis Philbin and Kathy Lee Gifford announced the 5 finalists, the second name called was Heather Whitestone, Miss Alabama. As the 5 finalists moved toward center stage, my maternal anxiety began to build. All 5 contestants looked stunning. As a burst of orchestra music signaled the end of the commercial break, a hush of anticipation settled across that vast convention hall. My night-long calm evaporated as the last notes of music faded away. 20 years ago this very night, 18-month-old Heather had lain critically ill in the pediatric ward of a hospital in Alabama, while her doctors tried to decide what was wrong and how to treat her. Unbeknownst to us, sometime during her stay in the hospital, Heather had slipped into a world of silence. Was it possible for my deaf child to find success and happiness in the hearing world? Sometimes I'd felt very alone in my belief that she could, or even should try. Most experts told us not to expect her to attain more than a 3rd grade education. And why even bother enrolling a deaf child in dance? While most people considered only Heather's limitations, fortunately, a few saw her potential. Heather had worked long and hard to be here tonight. She hoped to become the first deaf Miss America and be a bridge between the hearing and the deaf worlds. Now I worried, could a deaf girl who dreamed of becoming Miss America actually win the crown? All this and more raced through my mind during the commercial break, and then during Regis and Kathy Lee's time-killing chat with Miss America 1994, Kimberly Aiken. Finally, the scores were tallied and the judge's decision delivered. The envelope was opened and Regis Philbin called out, 4th runner-up, Miss Indiana, Tiffany Storm. The crowd cheered and my blood pressure jumped a few more points. 3rd runner-up, Miss Georgia, Andrea Cron. The 3 remaining contestants stood at center stage holding hands. 2nd runner-up, Miss New Jersey, Jennifer Alexis Macrease. As the cheering subsided, Regis went on to say, here we are now down to 2. That leaves Miss Alabama and Miss Virginia. Kathy Lee now said, one of you beautiful ladies will win $20,000 scholarship to continue your education, and the other will win a $35,000 scholarship. plus the crown and the title of Miss America. Okay, said Regis, this is it, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of a $20,000 scholarship is Miss Virginia Cullen Johnson, and the new Miss America 1995, Miss Alabama Heather Whitestone. The crowd of 13,000 packed the Atlantic City Convention Center exploded into wall-shaking cheers. The bewildered expression on Heather's face told me that she hadn't understood the announcement. It wasn't until Cullen pointed at her, mouthing the words, it's you," and gave her a big congratulatory hug, that Heather realized she had won. I never did clearly see what happened next. I could tell Heather was crying. I was crying. My mother and my sisters were crying. Stacy and Melissa, Heather's two sisters, were screaming and jumping and running around. All of Heather's cousins and her aunts and uncles were cheering and applauding like mad. My father, in joyous celebration of Heather's victory, was punching his arms into the air and screaming, yes, yes, yes. I guess Regis and Kathy Lee must have been singing, there she is, Miss America, because Heather was now walking down the runway and waving to the crowd. But all that our family and friends could hear was the sound of wild cheering, our own and everyone else's around us. When Heather made her turn and strolled back toward the stage, I could see her searching for the family in the crowd. I don't know why she didn't spot us immediately. We were the contingent of fools screaming and jumping up and down. There were 30 of us wildly waving and flashing her the familiar hand sign for I love you. When she finally spotted us, she signed her love back to us, and we all screamed even louder. My heart was so full. She'd done it. Heather had dreamed of this day for so long. As hard and as impossible as it had seemed at times for someone deaf to become Miss America, tonight I was ecstatic that I had always told her, yes, you can, Heather. Yes, you can. And so that's the end of my first story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you don't mind the little mistakes I made in my reading. I'll be recording some other short stories soon. So come back to the Avenidas YouTube channel and check it out. Bye now.